Hey there! Welcome to Community Showcase Live for June of 2018. So glad you're here with us to see fantastic fan art from around our community, artists of different mediums and different ways of expressing themselves, and generally all about Guild Wars too. So I think you'll enjoy that. I'd like to introduce you to this month's guest. This is Katelyn Isaacson, and Katelyn is an intern with our audio team. And I'm pleased to have you here, Katelyn, because this is a double first. You are our first intern as a CSL guest, and you're our first audio team member. So welcome, and tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Thanks so much. I'm happy to be here. My name's Katelyn Isaacson. I went to school in Los Angeles for classical music and then freelanced a little bit there and moved up here about 6 months ago for this internship, and I'm having a great time learning a ton from the team.
That's really neat. Yeah, the audio team is so amazing. And if you didn't hear it, remember we have a new introductory piece here for a CSL done by Katelyn's associate. We think it's Chris, right?
We think it's Chris, yeah.
Chris. Anyway, awesome new piece. So at the end, listen for that little snippet because it's really nice. And let's get started with some of the art here because I'm excited to show you this. This first piece is Kirats by Love My Salads. She wanted to make a surprise for their friend and drew one of the friend's Savari characters, as you can see. They write, for his reaction, all the time was worth it. I just love the colors here.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I really, I love just the detail in the leaves on the hairstyle. That's one of my favorite parts of Savari is just their various tree-related hairstyles.
And that face, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, great face too. Tumon created this image called ArenaNet, and I was all like, "Oh, this is a study in delicacy and subtlety." Until I noticed the little choya on the shoulder, then I was like, "Okay, that is funny as heck and beautiful." Love that piece.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Choya are one of my favorite characters in Guild Wars. Just the audio, and I mean, as an audio person, like I have to like them. It's super fun. They were made, I think it was designed mostly by Jerry, one of our team members.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, he can do them. Just you meet him in the lunchroom and say, "Hey, do a choya," and he'll just come out with all these great sounds.
Yeah, he's known for doing a lot of really cool creature sounds and using his voice in interesting ways, so it's super cool.
It's fantastic. I do love the choya. Unless I'm in the middle of hating them. You know, there are those occasions where, you know, come on, guys, really? This is by Landilux, one of our creative partners, and I really like this piece. It was actually created for the Winter's Day zine, or the Winter zine that our art community put together. It was a two-piecer, so it was like one half was Duena and one half was Grenth. And Landilux says that they have a preference or a bias for Grenth. I personally have a bias for Duena, and I love that part of the image too. But you can't argue with how awesome this is.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Just I love particularly the cloth. There's just a lot of motion in this. It's really beautiful.
And the hidden face. My favorite part, skulls. I have a major thing for skulls.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. I'm surprised my house isn't decorated in skulls instead of Disney, actually. So I just love them. The level of detail there is just incredible. And then this Mesmer is by Vengart, or Wengart. The artist writes that they were doodling their lovely Mesmer and felt inspired by Guild Wars 2 art. Particularly, they called out our artist, Theo Prinz. So I think that's really a nice piece. And I love the disheveled hair. And of course, Katelyn, don't we agree that the color scheme here is spot on?
Oh yeah, purple is for sure my favorite color. So anything purple related gets an A+ in my book.
And now you see why she's a guest on CSL, because we are a simpatico about the color purple, if nothing else. This painting here is a lovely char elementalist, and it's by Firequill. They created it in Procreate, one of the software programs, and then finished it up in Photoshop. I am passionately in love with this image. The motion, the movement, the fire, the face. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on. Love this image.
Yeah, it's very vibrant. And you can really get a sense that the char is just having a fantastic time. Like, he's got such a good expression in his eyes.
It's true, isn't it? And the splash where the footprint is.
Yeah, it's a fantastic detail.
Yeah, wonderful. This is June, which is a popular month for weddings, as you may be aware. And this is by artist Tamika Shiro, and they call it just a random Norn bride. But it raised a question in my mind. If brides usually throw their bouquet, would a Norn bride throw a cake? I'm not sure, but I like the idea.
Yeah, I could see that happening. We'll see if that's canon.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the dress. Just the use of furs, the fact that you've got the difference in length between the front and the back of it. I love that style of dress. I don't think I own any of those anymore, but I did when I was younger. I should probably go get another one.
Yeah, that's nice. I like the hair too.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. It's just great. Good image there. And now check this perfect symmetry. I'm so excited about this because as I was curating art for this show, I came across this lovely piece by Rate Sonorian. It's Akira, and get this, the Akira, this Tengu, belongs to Tamika Shiro, who is the artist who created the last piece of the Norn Bride. So there's kind of a artist meet character. There's a nice little symmetry there that I liked very much. Isn't he great?
Oh, yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Birds, I have a very special spot in my heart for birds. I've got a pet bird we've had for like the past 13 years. So we're,
really?
Yeah, we're too attached. We're horrendously attached at this point. But yeah, so anything vaguely bird related makes me happy.
Is she or he?
He's a cockatiel. It's like this big. Yeah.
And do they speak or talk? Or?
He whistles, so it kind of imitating human speech, but nothing that's really understandable. And I brought him in a couple weeks ago to the studio, and
I missed it.
Yeah, yeah, I recorded him. Well, we recorded him for possible use in the game of the future. Who knows? I will try my best to get him in there before I leave, but who knows?
If Katelyn's bird makes it into the game, I will post on our community creation subforum and say, go to this spot and listen to this bird because that's the star of Katelyn's life here.
Oh,
What's his name?
His name's Mika.
Oh, that's
yeah. I
so
talk about
nice.
him anytime I can, so it's not super surprising that I'm talking about him on a live stream too.
Okay, fair enough. I'm in favor of that. This image is Blixxy by Eliode. Blixxy is an exceptionally talented dragon hunter. You might kind of be able to tell that by that purposeful gaze and then that purpose-built sword. Really like the details and the armor especially.
Yeah, the silver engraving work is just super pretty.
And and the hair?
Yeah. I like Asura ears in general. Just I don't know, they kind of remind me of like cute little dog ears, and you can really get that in this image.
Yeah, you can. Do you play an Asura?
No, I don't. I play a Norn, but I've been thinking about starting another character, which would for sure be an Asura.
I think they are great, and I've heard for jumping puzzles they have certain advantages.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm also just terrible at jumping puzzles, so.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I'm not
so bad at them.
I feel so badly. Oh, yes. I welcome and revere our Mesmer community because they do help me make it to some of the dailies that I would really never make if they weren't there to say, would you like a portal? Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I just heard a collective aw when this image came up because this is the cutest thing. This is Basker and Tiro. It's by Rovos Art, and they said that these are the first cubs of their Char character, and I love those guys.
They're so cute. Just the fur. I want to go up and give them a pet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I love the eye, the details of the eye. They're just perfect.
Yeah, I really like this, like kind of the stripe down their nose.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Very nice. Sarah Nask presents the Poison Daggers. It's a charming pencil sketch, as you can tell, actually right in a notebook. And these are close friends, colleagues, bros, Hexus, Darn, and Tar. Sarah promises there will be more from this deadly trio coming up.
Oh, this is fantastic. It's really neat kind of just seeing the notebook that it's in, and kind of you get like a real vision of how it was created, and just, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of connected to the artist that way. And
I agree. The medium. I think that's true. You know, in October, we have the pleasure of showing a lot of black and white images connected with the Inktober, which is an initiative that artists take on, totally voluntarily, of course, but they take on this initiative to do one piece of art every day, which just boggles my mind when I see even this is so detailed. I'm sure it took more than a day to put together, but they'll do pen and ink drawings for every day in the month of October if they're able to meet their initiatives.
Wow, that's impressive. I am horrendous at visual art, so go for it.
Yeah.
Congrats.
We are the beneficiaries, that
Yes.
for sure. This is Dashia Kala by artist Oa Ora Watoe. This is their first character, and they loved it so much they decided to make a painting, like a big painting, and it took them more than a month to put together, and you can see the detail and the care that they took in creating it.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the trees in the background. You can just kind of get a sense of space and how like deep the forest is. And the purple, obviously,
Yeah,
is nice
purple is lovely, yeah. And that pose is nice. That's
Mhm.
just really lovely image. Now, Drachen Kati over on our German language forum created this lovely cosplay for Gamescom 17. I am so impressed with cosplay and the number of hours that I know that they put. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, wow, that's fantastic. Like everything about that is perfect. Such an attention to detail. Just even, I don't know how he's doing the thing with the paws. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I imagine that must have taken a really, really long time.
I think so. And be quite a splash at Gamescom
Oh yeah,
to see that coming around. What is that? Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing.
totally. I
Oh.
bet he got a ton of pictures taken with them.
Yeah, I bet you so. The interestingly named artist, Nine Asura in trench coat, created this image of Plock, an Asura elementalist whom they call the peanut butter to Ipsos's jelly, the Reese's to his pieces, or the apple of his eye. I love what they wrote about it, and I love the image too.
Oh yeah, this is super cute. The book is beautiful. The tome, I like the kind of eye insignia on it is really wonderful, and yeah, great pose.
Nice.
I like his eye too. It's got like a nice glint in it.
And didn't you notice there's like a little smile there? A little
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
little smile.
So it's
I think you mentioned that. I love the hat too. Everything about it. Great image. Thank you for sharing this, Nine, if I may call you Nine. In Kitty Cat Team, Pavlovian Machinery portrays a trio of fierce-looking char and says, "Watch out, ghosts."
wow, this is wonderful. I particularly like the braided hair, just that detail on the char on the left-hand side, and the weaponry is just really well done, very well detailed.
They are obviously having a great time heading out in their little war band here. They've got the anticipation and the joy, you know, of battle,
Yeah.
battle yet to come.
Very, very char-like for sure.
Absolutely. Jazzbot wanted to do some experiments with drawing with fire. So they enlisted their friend, the noble-looking Avery, as the subject for this image, and I think they really got a good job with that fire there.
Oh, for sure. Noble is definitely a word I would use to describe this image. Just the position, the face. Yeah.
And it's an interesting use of color because it's a very limited palette, but fascinating uses of different shadings of the colors. Good choices.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing yellow and purple together. You don't often do that.
Yeah, it's for sure. Now, this is Krevness and Nebene. It was a commission from a player, Arix. It was actually made as a speed paint commission. So they put it together and videoed while they were producing the piece of art. Spaceling Art, I think, did a really good job here.
Yeah, speed painting things are super fascinating to watch, especially as someone who's just very disconnected from the visual art world. It's just it's really interesting to see the whole process as it unfolds. Particularly in this one, I love just the contrast in colors, the shock of like that bright neon green hair.
Yeah, I love the roses in the hair too.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Commander Titania. I think that's right, Titania.
Honestly,
we're thinking. Created these charming chibi heads. Each is a commission for a separate Guild Wars 2 player, and what they'll do is they'll have a player reach out to them. Sometimes it's on the forums and Tumblr, even maybe in the game, and say, hey, you do art. If I send you some screenshots of my character, can you do a chibi head? And then they'll produce these.
they're adorable. I love the chibi art style. I've been a big anime and manga fan since I was a kid, so it's really neat getting to see kind of like the crossover with the Guild Wars characters too.
Yeah. The one in the upper left with that cheesy grin.
Such a good face.
Every time I look at it, it makes me want to bust out laughing. It's so cute. They're all wonderful. This is Shavira Feathermoon. It was shared on our forums. Gray Catfish is the artist, and they called it their VHS char form. I thought it's kind of in the style of Tron, or even in the style of Super Adventure Festival. And you're going to have to kind of nudge me in a minute, because I watch these GIFs and I just get a little bit hypnotized because they're so great.
Oh yeah, it's mesmerizing. I feel like the more you watch this, the more you see a bunch of various details that aren't there necessarily apparent at the beginning, like the mouth opening and closing.
I love that.
Yeah, I can totally imagine some like retrowave music going on in the background. It's a really chill dude.
I can hear it, and then the changes in the glint on the sunglasses.
Oh yeah.
Or the shades. Oh, great image. Great fun. Artist Chartists, try saying that fast 3 times, wrote, this new Shrine Guardian skin is in line with one of my aesthetic preferences and very much in line with Mendander's overall look. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Shrine Guardian, what a great skin.
Oh,
like
the best.
Oh yeah, it turned out so well. I remember kind of I sent a couple sounds over to Joe, who's the one who designed this, the audio for it, and it's just really I really like what he did with it. It was kind of like the gongs and some of the more like ethereal sounds. It's really nice.
Yeah, it has a nice thing. It's nice to hear your perspectives from an audio sense, because we're all looking at it going, boy, that looks great. But it is a full package. It sounds wonderful too. It's just one of my favorite. You guys did a great job on that. And I got to say, Chartist did a great job on this, because I'm sorry, it's the butterfly wings. It's all about the butterfly wings for me.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, so pretty. This is Keldritch by Wendy Singh. They wrote that this is the second try on creating an image of Keldritch after they've changed the outfit, which I think is absolutely a great choice, Wendy. They called him your friendly neighborhood druid and all-around cutie pie. I have to agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely that's a cutie pie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying before, just the variety of hairstyles. Like this one kind of looks like a thorny kind of bramble thing, and it's just really well done.
Yeah. And the accent color of the around the eyes and matching the eyes. Beautiful. I'm so taken with this image. This is Rada Sum Undercity by J Light. We don't see as many landscapes as we see more character portraits, as you might expect, of course. And this one just pulled me in. The backlighting, the silhouettes of the characters moving towards that source of light. I think this is great.
Yeah, it's really moody. I love the perspective, and you can just see how like enormous the city is and how tech-driven it is.
And how tiny they are.
Yeah, for sure.
You get that perspective too. Yeah, it's wonderful. Katelyn, I was going to ask you a question about the intern program. You said you moved here. So how did that process go? Of you apply? I mean, it's a formalized program. It's not just, hey, can I come and intern? I mean, there's a whole process, right? So did you discover us on our website, or how did you first hear?
I heard about this particularly through the Seattle video game audio group. If any of you guys are into audio and around the Pacific Northwest, you should totally check it out. It's a really supportive community. Yeah, so I applied to it, and it's a pretty extensive application and interview process. I don't know, it probably took a number of months or so before I kind of heard back, and then very suddenly sort of just like packed up my life from LA and just like went up to Seattle. But it's been great. The team is just wonderful. Everyone's super duper talented, and really I'm learning a lot. And I have a lot more responsibility than I thought I would too.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been nice.
To be able to do things that you can see have an impact. You can look back on them. So after the end of the, this is a 1 year?
Oh yes, it's a 1 year full-time internship.
And when you're done with that, you'll have an opportunity to apply here or use the skills you've gained to go into the industry in other areas, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm hoping to stay in audio in one way or another. I love it at ArenaNet. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad to learn more about the program. I've seen some of the intern applicants come through, and it's always really nice and such a great opportunity. I'm proud that ArenaNet does that.
Yeah, we're a nice little community. We get lunch together every time we get a new intern, and we all hang out. It's really fun.
That's good. That's great. And having heard Katelyn's story, I want to share the story of gastronomist Gork here. This is by Old Roots GW2. And they shared a story. Turns out that Gork works at a gastro pub called the Hot Port, which is owned by Vinetooth Prime. And he works there about 8 months of the year, and then about 4 months of the year, takes his little food cart out, and he goes all around Tyria, particularly focusing on areas off the beaten path, where the citizens of this small town or village might not necessarily get into the capital to have these gourmet meals. So he benefits the citizenry by taking out his food and sharing it with them, and they benefit him by sharing their local recipes, which he then takes back to the pub as a furtherance of his cooking knowledge. So I think that's a really great story, and it ties in with a terrific image.
Yeah, I love the backstory, and I mean this guy obviously really loves cooking. He's kind of given like a side eye to the bowl of soup there. My sister's going to culinary school, so I'm hoping that maybe she will take a journey 4 months out of the year to make me food wherever I'm living at the time. So
that would be excellent.
keep that in mind, Julie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have a word and make sure that happens. What's her focus?
She wants to be a pastry chef.
Oh my. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
She makes absolutely wonderful desserts. Every time I go home, which I'm from Philly, so I don't go home super often. It's pretty far. She'll always ask me if I want anything, and it's
So
always
would
really
that
good stuff.
be, she would be in France. I know you're fluent in French. That would be a pastisserie? a
Pâtisserie. Well, a boulangerie would be like
More
breads and pastries kind of thing. Pâtisserie is more like candy kind of.
The sweeter side.
Yeah, I feel like it's less of a bread thing, and boulangeries often have like sandwiches and pizza and things like that too.
It's one of my favorite words in French, so I had to hear her say it.
It's
I
a
just
good
love
word.
the word, yes.
I for sure am not a native speaker. Just if there are any French people out there, like she said it wrong. It's like
No, that's okay.
I know I have an accent.
My favorite word is conciergerie, and it's a place in
conciergerie.
Yeah, yes, right. And I don't say it well, but I try it frequently because I think it's such a wonderful word. I don't know why.
French is good like that.
Yeah, it's a wonderful language, isn't it? Let's go on here and look at this great image of Calcatoric by Plantriarchy. Sorry about that. I like this because at first I was like, wow, that is an imposing image of Calcatoric. Then I noticed the note where the artist said that Calcatoric was taking a quick detour to terrorize a poor raptor rider. And sure enough, you can see him there, a little bit to the left of center at the bottom. Beaten feet across the desert trying to escape from that big dragon.
Super cute. I mean, in this picture, you can totally see the scale of Calcatoric. He's huge. Yeah. And it's just, you can tell that he kind of goes on forever.
Yes, he is amazing. Artist describes this as a paint test to try the mirage effect and lighting elements. And you can find a speed paint of this image on our Tumblr page, which I think would be really fun to see Calcatoric get all those different colors of purple.
Oh,
just happens to be. Good color. Zetanoia apparently created this image of their thief some time ago, but added it to Tumblr recently, and I'm so glad that they did. It's a very, very nice image.
Yeah, kind of like the background seems a lot more smudged. I know there are better art terms than that. Forgive me, I work in audio. Compared to the, yeah, but it's just, I mean, it's beautiful. Just like the difference between like the really sharp focus of her face and the background.
Yeah. I was kind of placing it as possibly being in Frost Gorge Sound. I don't know why I think that. Maybe just a silhouette of the hills, but really like that image. And this knocked my socks off. This is amazing cosplay of Kaith, created by Frimmy. Beautifully photographed, I might mention, by Gorgon Geek. And I know when you first saw this, you thought it was visual art, right?
Yeah, I thought it was a drawing. Like this is, Yeah, it's beautiful. Like the way that it's all set up, it just looks like it's actually like in the game itself versus an actual person just dressed up somewhere.
It's so perfectly done. I love the way that they captured it, the pose, the little bit of the face being hidden, and the smoke or fog effect behind. It's both the cosplay and the photograph are works of art.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's got the whole package.
Beautiful. Artist Stop Me, But You Can't said simply that Jonathan is a good rat. And I have quite a love of Asura. I must tell you, Katelyn, that there's something about their teeth that I find very appealing, and the braided hair just does it for me.
Oh yeah, and I mean another purple schemed painting. No bias at all. Definitely not. So, yeah, super cute, and the eyes. I love the shading of purple in their eyes too.
Yeah, lovely. Hot Clash is a member of our Creative Partner Program, and they wrote that this breathtaking image of a polar bear is actually their first attempt at drawing a polar bear. I just want to reach up and kind of like scrub his little cheek or something. The fur is just, you can feel how well done that's done, if that makes sense.
Totally. He looks really cuddly and cozy. I love his expression, just like kind of the slightly squinted eyes and the snow that's sort of suspended in the air. It's really beautiful.
Yes. Breathtaking. Just truly. Artist The One Pandemonium shared this image on the forums, and I reached out to learn a little bit more about this character. And I didn't hear back yet, but I might learn in the future. I don't know, in other words, her name. I don't know her history, but I know it's a beautiful image, and it was definitely something we wanted to include today.
Yeah, shading on her hair is beautiful. The tattoos on her shoulders, just really, really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Lirio by Wishbane also was another one that pulled me in. Artist writes, "My Sylvari guardian with a wolf blood outfit." They wrote that they were super hyped up about Path of Fire, really looking forward to it, and they've doodling this character has quickly became one of their favorite tunes. The question they ask is Dragon Hunter or Firebrand? I can't decide.
Yeah, I feel like that's a personal life decision. I'm not sure if other people can make that for you. You know, you got to really search inside yourself for that.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think you might be right. Good cover, because you don't want to. You don't want to say, "Oh, you want to do this."
Yeah,
other thing,
I don't want to be responsible for any awful things happening. But a gorgeous picture. The color scheme is really great. I love the different reds and maroons and stuff in there.
Yeah, and that the shoulder piece is really stunning. This is a commission. A full body commission that artist Shiochi created for Rata Vita. Shio said it was a lot of fun to work on, and I can just see the whole piece just calls out fun to me.
Oh yeah, such a jaunty pose, kind of leaning on the side like that. And the ears, they're very interesting positioning for Asura ears. I like them.
They are interestingly positioned, and I don't know that we have any that are that large compared to the size of the head, but maybe we do. I mean,
we should.
This is probably taken from screenshots of that character. I like the casual lean.
Oh,
here.
for sure.
Yeah, very cute. And the color scheme, again, this is a somewhat limited color palette, and they've done so much with it. And for our final image, I have to confess that I wanted to save this for Halloween because it seems so perfect for the season, and I do love Halloween so much. But it also was something that it just needed to be in this show too, because it's just great. It's by Rivendown. The artist said it was their take on the Orion Lich's gear, and I just love it. I love everything about this.
Oh yeah, super pretty. The sense of motion in this one is really palpable. You can kind of like feel him sliding off into the distance, sort of thing.
You can, and the movement of the raiments and the fabric, the way that it's shifting, you can you can almost hear something going on with that image, if I may. I don't know what, but
I'd probably like the chains kind of clanking together, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, definitely. And with that, I just want to do some call outs here. First of all, on June 24th and 25th, players are hosting a Tyria Pride event. This is an in-game event, and it's described in detail in the in-game event subforum on our official forums. So look for Tyria Pride 2018. I've attended in the past. I'm going to attend again. Always have fun, and it's wonderful. The organizers have made this over 2 days, and they made it very approachable to everyone. You can pop in for an hour, or you can pop in for half a day. You can come a little bit on one day and one on the other. They'll tell you where stopping points are and starting points are so that you can join the parade. You know, wear your best outfit and come out and have fun for Tyria Pride. Speaking of subforums, which I mentioned, you should head over to our community creation subforum. There's some new fan art in there that you might enjoy reading, and of course there's always new art being added there, and our Tumblr pages. And hey, I should probably mention this. It's not too early to share art. Even for later in the year. You know, I've mentioned before that I do pull from several months worth, even years worth. I've had pieces on that are 3 and 4 years old on the show. So if you are moved to do a piece about Halloween, the best, or Winter's Day, also the best, you can share those now. It's not too early. If you do share it close to the holiday, it'll probably be after our show, but it could be shown in a future episode. So do share those festival pieces. Our theme probably more for August is going to be more of a summary theme, but we're not bound by anything. It's just share your art. We'll get some great pieces, and we'll get together again in August. How to submit? Well, if you go to our official forums, Community Creations, you can add it there. And if you share on Tumblr, you can use the hashtag GW2FanSubmission, and that will be a great way to share. You can share on either or both. We don't limit you. However you want to share your art is great with us. We really appreciate that. I should say, getting back to thinking about the community creation subforum, you can embed images if you add art that is hosted on Tumblr, Imager, YouTube, or Facebook. So that's kind of nice because the image is right there. You can also link to other resources, but those 4 are actually embed right there and are visible in the forums. And I've mentioned this before too, but I like to let people know that all CSLs are Community Showcase Lives are archived on YouTube, so you can get our playlist if you just put in the search engine. Well, you can go to our page, the Guild Wars 2 page, or you can put in Guild Wars 2 Community Showcase Live in the search engine. Pull up the playlist and you can see any of our last episodes. We're more than 2.5 years now that we've been producing CSLs and have had all sorts of wonderful dev guests. So do check that out when you have a chance. And that's pretty much a wrap for June. I want to thank Katelyn here for being guest. It was wonderful to have you here.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. Super great getting to see some awesome art.
Yeah, I'm just so pleased that we have the intern program and that you offered to be on the show. I asked, put out a call, for guests, and I was so pleased that you were on board. Hi to the bird.
Oh, yes, of
when
course.
You get
always.
home, give him and sneak him into the office again. I want to see this
okay.
guy. Okay, we'll try that then. In the meantime, we will be on again in August. Look for news about that on social media, on the forums, and a blog post, and we'll let you know the date. It's usually in the middle of the month. This is a little earlier than normal, but we don't know the date yet, but we will let you know through those media. And in the meantime, you guys keep creating.